Hi, so today I'm going to show you how I made these cute little snowmen. I'm going to make this big one, and then at the end I'll explain how to make the smaller one. It's really easy. So yeah, I'm going to make some of these cute. They're really quick, easy to make. Okay, let's go. Right, what you'll need is obviously a crochet hook. I'm using a 2.5mm hook, but feel free to use any size hook that matches your yarn. I'm just using some random DK cotton that I had, and mine's in like a off-white colour. Then you'll need, I'm going to use this scraps for the scarf, some orangey yarn. This is actually not DK, this is like 4-ply. This is for the carrot nose, and then a bit of brown just for the stick arms, and you'll need a tapestry needle or a needle of some kind. I'm going to use these little beads to make the eyes, but you could use just some black yarn and embroider them. I'm also going to use, I like to use a scrap of yarn as my stitch marker, but feel free to use a proper stitch marker. And then obviously you'll need some stuffing as well. Okay, let's get started. So to start, you'll need to make a magic ring. And you'll want to make 6 single crochet into the magic ring. And then you want to tighten up your ring. And then you want to put 2 single crochet in each stitch around. I don't normally add my marker yet, I just count them as I go, just because it's a little bit tight on this first round. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 11, and 12. So then I just go back, give this a tug so it's nice and tight. I like to add a little knot just at the end. And then you can go ahead and just cut that off. And then I'll add my marker. I like to just use a scrap placed between the last and first stitch, but if you prefer you could put your stitch marker in the last stitch or the first stitch that you make of each round. Just remember which one that you've done. Okay, now we're going to put 1 single crochet in the next stitch and then increase in the next, and you're going to do this all the way around. So 1, increase, Okay, that's the end of the third round. So now I'll move my marker up and we'll start round 4. I'll just take my little scrap out and place it across again. And in this round you're going to do increase in 2 stitches, then an increase. So 1, 2, increase, 1, 2, increase. So I've got 1 single crochet, and then 1 single crochet, and then 2 in the next one for an increase. I'm going to continue to the end of the round. Sorry if you can hear my dog pitter-patting on the floor. And then the last one, 1, 2, and then an increase. Okay, now you're going to stop increasing, and for the next 5 rounds you're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So I'll do 1, move my marker, and then do 1 single crochet in each stitch. So if you continue doing that for for 5 rounds, I'll meet you at the end of the 5th round. Right, so you should be at the end of round 9 now, and this is what it should look like when you've done 5 just straight rounds of 1 single crochet in each round. So this is the top of the head. We're going to do another round now of increasing. So we're going to do 3 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, and then an increase. So you're going to continue this all the way around, 3 single crochet, then an increase until you get to the end of this round. Okay, so you've done 3 single crochet and then an increase, and that's the end of round 10. So I'm going to move my marker up again. And then for the next 3 rounds, you're just going to put 1 stitch in each round, So 1 stitch in each all the way around for the next 3 rounds. And I will meet you after you've done that. So now we're at the end of round 13, and this is what it should be looking like. And for the next round, I'm going to move my marker up, and we're going to do 4 single crochet and then an increase. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then an increase in the next stitch. And you're going to continue this to the end of the round. Okay, so at the end of the round, you should have 36 stitches. And now for 3 more rounds, you're just going to put 1 single crochet again in each stitch around. So 36 stitches, and I'll meet you at the end of round 17. Okay, so now we're at the end of round 17. I've moved my marker up, and for round 18 we're going to increase again. So it'll be 5 stitches and then an increase. So 5 single crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then an increase in the next stitch. And then we're going to repeat this all the way around to the end, and you should have 42 stitches by the end of round 18. So 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then an increase. So continue to the end, and I will meet you again at the end of this round. Okay, so we've done 5 and an increase all the way around. We've just got to the end of round 18. So now we're going to do the same thing again for the next 3 rounds. We're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around. I'll move my marker up again. So this is going to be 42 stitches all the way around for the next 3 rounds. So I'll meet you again at the end of round 21. So we've just got to the end of round 21, and this is what we've got so far. And we're now going to do the last increase, which will be 6 single crochet. I'm going to move my marker up, and we're going to do 6 single crochet and then an increase. And we're going to do that 6 times all the way around again. And we'll have 48 stitches by the end of the row. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 single crochet, and then an increase in the next stitch. So you want to put 2 stitches in there, and then you want to continue all the way around to the end of the row, and I'll meet you there again. So we've just finished round 22, which was 6 single crochet and an increase. I'm going to move my marker up, and now we're finished increasing. So for the next 6 rounds, we're just going to put 1 single crochet in each stitch around. So that's 48 single crochet, 1 in each all the way around for the next 6 rounds, and then I'll meet you at the end of that 6th round, which will be round number 28. So all the way around, 1 in each stitch till the end of round 28, and I'll meet you there. So we're now at the end of round 28, and this is what you should have. We're just about finished the body. Now we just have to decrease. So for the next few rounds, all we'll be doing is decreasing. I'm going to just decrease the first two rounds of decreases, and then I will add some stuff in. I don't like to add it too soon because these guys are only little. So now the next round, I'm just going to move my marker up, and we're going to start the decreases. So we're going to do 6 single crochet, and then we're going to decrease. And I always do it where you go into the front loop of the next 2 stitches, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through. So that's your first decrease done. So we're going to do 5 more. So we're going to do 6, another 6 again, 6 stitches, then a decrease, 6 stitches, then a decrease, till you get to the end of the round, and I'll meet you there. Okay, so I've just got to the end of round 29, which was 6 single crochet and a decrease all the way around. And now we're going to start round 30, and this is going to be, sorry about that, 5 single crochet, and then a decrease. And then you're going to continue that pattern all the way around. So 5 more single crochet decrease, 5 single crochet decrease, until you get to the end of the round, and then we'll start to add some stuff in. Okay, so we're at the end of round 30. So what I'm going to do is just pull this loop up quite big just so we don't lose it. And as you can see, we've done 2 decrease rounds, so you should see that it's starting to close. So now we're going to add some stuff in. I just like to hold the strands and my tail end and everything, and we're going to get some stuff in. I like to pack it in quite tightly, but also try not to lose the shape. So I just like to keep checking, make sure that the shape doesn't get distorted. Okay, right, I'm gonna stop adding stuff in there just so that we don't get it all caught as we keep decreasing the last few rounds. It tends to get stuck in your hook. Okay, so I'm going to take our loop back. And the next round is going to be 4 single crochet and then a decrease. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a decrease. So we're going to continue this all the way around to the end of the row. So we're at the end of round 31, 32, sorry. And we've just done 2, 3, actually 4 and a decrease. We're at the end of round 31, yeah. So you can see it's starting to close up. So the next round is going to be round 32, which is 3 single crochet and a decrease. And you're going to do this again all the way till you get to the end of the round, and you will should have 24 stitches left at the end of round 32. So I'll meet you there. Okay, so now we're at the end of round 32 and we should have 24 stitches left. I'm just going to pull my little loop up a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit more stuff in. Just like to take note of where I started the decreasing and then push the stuff in to the edge and then kind of flatten it out, if you know what I mean. Just so that the bottom will be a bit more flat and your snowman will be able to stand up. Right. To do a lot of faffing about with the stuffing. Okay, so I'm going to grab that loop again, and the next round we're going to do 2 single crochet and then a decrease all the way around. So 1, 2, decrease, Okay, so then I'm going to move our marker again, and the next round will be 1 single crochet and a decrease, and then I'll meet you at the end of that round. We'll add a tiny little bit more stuff in just before we fully close the gap. So 1 single crochet decrease for the rest of this round. So we're at the end of round 34, and we've just done 1 single crochet and a decrease all the way around. And our next sorry, I've got the dog. Hi Maddie, you want to join in? We've got the next round, which is just a decrease in all the way around. So we're going to do 6 decreases. So I'm going to just remove my marker because I know I need to do 6. I'm just going to make that loop a little bit bigger. I'm going to add the last tiny bit of stuff in. Just make sure we've got it in the shape that you want it, and that there's enough. Okay, so now we're going to decrease 6 times. Just to close this gap. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Pull that through. Leave a little bit of a tail. Snip the end off. Pull the end through. Right, I'm just going to take your needle, thread the tail up with the needle, and then to close this little hole, I just like to go in and out of the front loops. Just weave your needle through. And then pull it tight. I just like to go right back in and then bring it out at a stitch nearby. Make a little knot. And then just hide your tail inside the body. Snip off that end. And that's the body done. as you can see, I've used a thinner yarn this time. This is actually the bigger version, which has turned out smaller. I'll probably like that size. I used a chunkier yarn, so even though this is the smaller version, this bigger one's turned out the same size because I've used a different yarn. So this is actually the same size as this. There we go. That's the main part and the body done. So we're now going to make the nose. This is probably the most fiddly little part. I'm just using this 4-ply, but you can use, I actually used just a normal DK for this one. That's why his nose has ended up a little bit bigger. And then for this one, I used this 4-ply, so it looks a bit stubbier. Okay, so I'm going to take a yarn, use the same size hook, make a magic ring, and we're going to put 6 single crochet into the ring. And we're going to pull that tight. And then we're going to do 6 single crochet around. So this is where it gets a little bit tight, because we're not doing any increases yet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's pull it out so we don't lose it. Right, you can see this, it kind of curls back in on itself, but you want to turn it the other way around. But before we do that, I just like to secure the end again with a knot. It didn't work. Sorry, apologise for snivelling, I've got a little bit of a cold. Okay, let me just snip that end off. And then this is where I don't have any nails, so it's a little bit tight. You just want to kind of flip that back out the proper way around. Right. Put your hook back in. And then we want to do 1 single crochet and an increase. So that'll be 3 times, because we already have 6 stitches. So we'll end up with 9. So it's really tight, this first little part. Do that first stitch. I'm going to do 1 and then an increase in the next one, and then 1 and then an increase, and then another one, and then an increase in that last one. I don't add a marker or anything there, it's just a bit too tight. So now you should have 9 stitches around, and we're just going to put 1 stitch in each stitch around, so 9 single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And that's the little carrot nose finished, so I'm going to pull that through, leave a bit of a tail and snip it off. I didn't bother adding any stuff in, as you can see it's a bit tiny. So it looks something like this. So I think now what we'll do is add the eyes. So I've just threaded a smaller needle with just some black cotton, just so that obviously we need it to fit through the bead. But if you would prefer to embroider the eyes, you can just go ahead and do that now. I'm going to add them between rows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So between rows 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So about there. So I'm just going to come in from the back. Pull that through. And get hold of it. Sorry, my dog is sat here having a scratch and squeak in the chair. So there we go, and then we're going to just put that back in through the same place you came out, and just try and make it even. So it's about 3 stitches along, around about there. Grab your other bead. And then just put that back into the same gap. Take it through at the back. Sorry. Make sure that they're where you want them to be. And then just put a little notch or 2 in this tail end. Just take your needle back through, thread it through a couple of times, same with the other end. Actually, I can use my bigger needle now. There we go. And then you want to sew the little carrot nose in between the eyes. So just put it wherever you think it looks best. When it's all sewn all the way around, I just like to take it back through to one of the other different side, make a knot. And then go back in that same gap. And then hide the tail again in the body. Snip that off. And there he is. So now we're just going to make his little stick arms. You can kind of just eyeball it and put them wherever you think's best. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to start about 4 rows down from the nose, around about there, and then just kind of put them on a little bit of a diagonal. I leave this tail hanging out, go back into that same stitch again, and then come back out at the same one to make the little hands. check where this row is, look the other side, back through on the other side there. And then you want to take, when you're finished, you want to take your needle back through to the beginning tail. Check he looks okay. Tie that in a knot. And then you want to hide the tails back in the body. Snip those off. And there we go. Now we've just got his scarf to make. So to make his scarf, I've just got this scraps of like a chenille yarn. I'm using a 4.5mm hook, and I'm literally just going to make a little chain, make a slip knot, and then chain however long you want your scarf to be. Obviously you could use any yarn, any scraps that you've got, any hook. Make a nice extra long one and wrap it around a few times if it's a thinner yarn maybe. Okay, that'll probably do. Snip that end off, pull that through, pull it tight, and just snip that little bit off to make it shorter. And there we go. Wrap his little scarf around his neck. And he's all finished. Okay, so if you'd like to make the smaller version, obviously this is the smaller version, because this was made with a thicker yarn, it's turned out the same size. But this one I made by doing one less decrease. So when you start the head, instead of doing the 2 and an increase, sorry, one less increase, instead of doing the 2 and an increase like we did for the bigger one, you'll just stop at 1 and an increase. So you'll have 18 stitches. Then you skip 1 row out. So instead of doing 5 rows, you'll only do 4. And then you want to do your increases as we did with the larger one. So then the next one would be 2 and an increase, and then do 3 rows, then 3 and an increase, and then 3 rows. But then stop when you get to 5 and an increase, and then do the 5 rows, sorry, leave 1 row out. So do 5 rows straight round before you start decreasing, and that'll just make a smaller snowman. So it's just slightly smaller. But yeah, you could always do what I did there and do the bigger one and just use a smaller hook with a thinner yarn, and you'll get different sizes. I think they'd be nice if you had a nice chenille one, a big chunky one. Maybe I'll have to try that next. And then obviously you can decorate them however you like. I've put some little buttons on this one. I could put beads or stand him on something, a little bit of wood, and glue him on, make a little decoration. But there we go. So I hope you like this little tutorial. I'd love it if you subscribe to my channel. Hopefully I'm going to have some more tutorials really soon. I'm aiming to have all of my patterns just as tutorials for free on YouTube. So thanks for watching.